Hi everybody, Nigel back here again, and I've got another inbox review for you. And today we're going to be looking at Ryefield models Pz.Kpfw IV off-H late production, so Panzer IV basically. Okay, I don't know when this was, the time that it was about. Balance that could have been quite. We've been late, well, quite late production. So, what we'll do, we'll get cracking. This one has balance rate, engine, muzzle brake, 3D muzzle brake, and a metal barrel. So, yeah, let's get into it and have a look. So let's start with the instruction manual. Just stop you from shaking, hopefully. Normal Ryefield models, white A4 booklet type, okay, with the picture of the box art there. We then move into a sprue map, so you can see that we've got quite a lot of sprues. And then straight into it, looking at the lower hull. So we've got the side of the lower hull here, we're drilling some parts out. We have the front and the back plate, and then we've got the belly plate going on like so. We then move on to adding some of the return rollers on, somewhere the gearbox goes, and other little pieces going on, and a little escape hatch underneath. I believe that's the escape hatch anyway. We've then got the sprocket and some of the wheels, the road wheels going on, and another little part just there. Before then we start joining those road wheels and the sprocket actually onto the vehicle. We've got another wheel going on the front. I don't know, is it a return roller or whatever? I'm not certain. Before then we start moving on to the tracks. So that's a track part for the actual no plate. I'm not certain what it's called, the front plate. And then we start building the tracks. So 98 pieces, make 2. And looking at this, there's only a few parts. So the main part and then the pins going on there. It tells you to only put glue where the red parts are. So yeah. We then move on to putting a exhaust on and then the tracks together before we move on to what the tops of these side skirts with tools and winches and all that sort of stuff. We've then got the other side again with the top of the side skirts, again with some tools and what have you going on there, some boxes, before then we mount those two onto the actual lower hull. We have a bulkhead going in. I'm assuming that bulkhead's where the engine's going to sit. Before then we start looking at putting this plate here with a machine gun in. Then we can start adding all these parts together. So we've got the top of the lower hull with some sides on it, with some louvers on the back, some hatches going on. Before then that gets them mounted onto the vehicle. We have a storage bin for some spare wheels. We've then got the hangers and the space going on and all that sort of stuff for the massive bits of armour that go down the side, which we're then now looking at just here. Before then they get mounted onto the vehicle like so. We have some more, no, that's not tools, that looks like that's part of the main gun going on like so. yeah, some more parts on the main gun. So the main gun's actually got quite a lot of parts on there. Before we then move on to the barrel and the muzzle brake, the turret going together, and again some more bits getting hung off there for some more plates of armor that will go around the turret ring. We have a what looks like commander's cupola just there with all the vision ports. There you can have it open or close so you can see that full gun interior. The machine gun getting mounted on the top. The turret then going on to the main body of the vehicle, and then we are building our engine and going through our engine before then that gets mounted into the vehicle if you so wish. We've then got 3 marking options. So the Hitlerjag of France 1944, Normandy 1944, and 2 SS Pan Division August 1944 in Normandy again. So first bag of sprues, we'll get this one open first because this has got some of the littler parts in that we want to have a look at. So we have our turret, some of the pins for the tracks, some poly caps, the 3D printed part and metal barrel, and some other little bits and pieces. So we'll start off with the turret. Okay, let's put that over there. So turret, some really nice features on here, which you don't see on obviously every one of these. You will have your weld seams just down there. I don't know whether my camera will be able to pick that up, but you can just see there's some weld seams down there and all the way around. Other than that, you've got lots of little holes for where the bits and pieces are going to go on. Nothing on the inside, but you won't really be able to see anything too much anyway. We've then got, I'm assuming is another part of the turret. Okay, so I don't know where this goes, but this might be the part that goes on the rear of the turret with some bulkheads just here. Again, some nice rivet detail all the way down the side here, around the back. But other than that, yeah, nothing really to write home about, but yeah. Then we've got a commander's cupola and some other bits and pieces. So there we are, the commander's cupola just there. In another bag we have our vision ports and yeah, some nice fabric texture on there. I don't know what that's for, if I'm honest. Again, some nice raised rivets. If you're going to have it open, you're going to have to be wary of that injection pin just there. We've then got another plate and what looks like a set of wheels. So we've got a plate just here. Obviously this is the part that's going to be facing out. Again, some nice raised detail on there. And then I'm not sure whether they are wheels or not. Maybe when we get through to the other ones, we'll be able to see whether they are or not. Right, the last beige plastic parts we're going to look at, I'm not going to take all those pins out, is another part of the cupola. So we've got our hatches and that's again fabric texture, so that's probably going to go on the, I would assume, the hatch, so it softens so you don't bang your head on there. Maybe that's a seat, but I don't think it is because I don't remember seeing a seat. And again, other parts for the couplers there. That then moves us on to the clear parts. I'm not going to take these out, but suffice to say they look super clear, and they're just for your observation ports. Also in this bag we get the metal barrel, so the term metal barrel and the 3D printed parts. So we have our metal barrel just there, which is lovely, really nice, and then we've got our 3D printed parts, and it's great that you actually get 3 in there, so they look fantastic. So you can use them for this vehicle and other Pz.Kpfw IVs in your stash potentially. So I'll just put them over there. Next up we've got another bag of beige plastic. And again we have some hatches, some parts of what look like the side skirts potentially. We have part of the turret ring. Again, yeah, it's all really nicely moulded, really crisp. The hinges are really nicely done on all these hatches, as well as the locking mechanism on the other side. So again, it's really nicely done across the board. Part of the main gun, and what's like, these are all little parts in the main gun. Okay, so the part of the breech maybe, we have turret rings, and we have a massive hatch. I don't know what that'll be for, but it's there. It's got a nice cross hatch sort of texture, like a non-slip sort of thing on there. All these parts are really finely done, really nice small parts on there, all the way down to the little rivets on that part just there. So here we have the main gun in plastic, and then we've got part of the breech system over here. We've got a little cover just there that's made to look fabric. We have our plastic muzzle breeches, our muzzle stops there, muzzle brakes just there. Nice detail on the side of the breech system. So it all looks really nice. And what looks like we've got the 2 different muzzle openings. So now we're moving on to the part of the upper hull. So this is the part of the hull. Nothing really on there. There's a few screws on there dotted about, but most of your bits are going to get added to this. So there's not really a lot of mold detail on there, though there are some nice rivets going around the outside, and some nice little control boxes and levers on the inside. And here we then have side of the actual main turret, upper part of the hull. And again, we've got some nice seam or weld seams going all the way around. Same on this part just here. sorry. So next part, this is part of the engine. We've got the main engine block here with the 2 V's for the whatever amount of cylinders they've got. What looks like some sort of fuel tank, or maybe even that's the exhaust. Piping. And again, really nice moulding by Ryefield. Solidly done. The sprue gates aren't too big, so you should be able to get them all apart really nicely. I've got some nice detail on this one, maybe a transfer box or something like that. And then we've got the belts for the engine. Next up, some of the smaller parts. So some of the louvers, some headlights, looks like it might be a fire extinguisher, and then you've got your smaller tools, some tanks, some antennas, part of the actual tow rope, which you get a bit of string for. So again, some really nice solid moulding by Ryefield models. You know, even all the way down to like the little spanners and stuff like that. So all really nicely done. So now we move on to the lower hull plate with the side of the hull just there. Some nice raised recessed rivets, some nice hatches. The side of the skirts looks really nice. Yeah, some lovely detail all the way through. We've even got like the other parts of the actual hatches just there. So that's where the engine would sit. So if you've got the engine open or through the louvers or whatever, you'll probably be able to see those through those. So a bit of the armour, I'm not going to take this bit out, but just looking at the parts themselves, same quality as throughout the kit. Some nice buckle detail on the rear of this, this rear plate of armour that goes at the back of the turret. Another one with plates, with a plate, again well carried out on both sides, and we have some little bits and pieces, what looks like maybe a fuel tank or something similar. I'm assuming these may be part of the wheels, but I'm not certain. That big frame for that massive slab of armour that goes down either side. And it might be part of that, some of these parts. Some more hatches with what looks like some sort of vision port on there as well. We'll get one of these bits of track out. Okay, so there we are. Better than some I've seen, where you've got multiple parts. So this is all one part, but you have 3 cleanup parts on it. And the detail is actually really well done on these tracks, and I can see these going together not too bad, and then being totally workable. So the upper part of the side skirts. So we've got our non-slip texture running all the way down these with some raised detail and what have you, and again really nicely done, again with the seam, weld seams on there, and you can see the texture underneath as well. 2 bags of wheels now, so I'm assuming those other ones weren't wheels because they're in here and they look totally different, so I'll only get 1 bag out. But then we have our sprockets, we have part of our suspension, our wheels, our return roller. Oh, they might be the rollers on, no, these are the rollers on the top, I think. And again, all the way through, we've got some nice detail on either these caps, what have you. We've got proper individual leaf springs that you can actually physically see. Nice detail on the 2 parts of the sprocket. The transfer case or the gearbox case, whichever it is, I'm not 100% certain. Obviously our guide for doing our tracks, and then we've got the rest of our wheels just there. Last bag of sprues, or sprue should I say. So this is our last one, and we've got some tracks made up to these get stuck onto the vehicle, and this is made up of some of the tools. We've got another barrel by the looks of it just there. We have some of these boxes that went on the side of the rear, some more parts, I'm not sure what they're for, but again some nice raised detail on them. And yeah, I don't know what that part is, but it's got a little bit on that looks like it might be some sort of antenna or whatever, but I'm not certain. And yeah, just some nice little add-ons just there, and some more muzzle brakes just there. And next up is the photo etch and the decals. So I'm not going to take these out. So you've got your armour. This armour is all, they are together, but I would assume that you could, if you so wished, take one of these plates out or more, like I have seen on pictures from other modelers that I've done that I'm friends with. You know, take one of them out, get them bent, and then we have our decals in there, which obviously there's not that many, so there's not much to really say about them. So that's Ryefield models, Panzer IV. As what I've been finding with a lot of Ryefield model kits, the actual moulding is really sharp. Massive amount of detail. Now this has got Zimmer on, so you're going to have to add, on the picture that is, so you will have to add your own Zimmer, and it's got lots of really nice detail in there. The engine's a nice touch, the metal barrel, the 3D muzzle brake, you know, it's all really nice, nicely done, and for about £40 it's really reasonable kit. I can see it go together quite easily. I don't know whether it's as good as Tamiya go together. I've never built a Ryefield model kit, but the way it's broken down and what have you looks really nice. I wish Ryefield model would maybe do some aircraft. If you were listening, Ryefield, I'd love to see you maybe do an aircraft, but if you don't, it's fair enough. I'll just keep reviewing these ones. I know people will keep building them. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.